By the way, she's one of Africa's 20 most influential women, according to Forbes. What else? At a point in time, she was the most searched person on Google from Nigeria. Everybody was searching her name, searching her name for bad news.
It was some good news as well.
But she does have some accolades. She was conferred with an honorary doctorate degree from Trinity International University in Georgia for her outstanding contribution to media services in Nigeria. So if I have to say it to you, I will go on forever. But let me just break the ice. Please, everybody, welcome the one and the only Linda Ikeji. Some drum roll.
Yes, some drama.
Because I'm so scared. I'm wondering maybe she might go into radio. Because she might own her own radio station now. And who knows?
Wow.
You know, it's good to see you and have you on the radio station, Linda. How you doing?
Thank you so much for having me.
You look great.
You look fantastic, actually. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so tall.
I like hearing that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So tall, so powerful, so in control. We're loving it. All right, so your new movie is out, Reverse. We're so excited about that. So yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. We have a lot of questions.
So many questions. So many questions for you.
Come on. Annie.
Okay, let's do it. Let's ask you a basic question. A lot of people don't really know why you went into film production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I?
Why did you do that?
Because I'm a big fan of movies. I've watched probably more movies than the average person. I love movies so much, probably more than music.
Oh yeah.
But I've always been in the background, just watching people produce and admire actors, and I just didn't think it was something that I could necessarily be part of, other than just watching and consuming it. But when I started my production company, when I was doing the Ikeji TV, I was producing a lot of content, but I wasn't doing movies. Yeah. But then Netflix, Prime, all the other streaming platforms came, and I saw that now we have a platform where what you produce can be showcased. And I thought, okay, Netflix is here, Prime is here, maybe I should go into this business. And then I was very frustrated, to be honest, with a lot of the films that I was watching from Nigeria, because I was very frustrated with it. I was like, what are these people doing?
Why were you frustrated? What did you see?
Yeah, exactly.
What the storytelling?
The storytelling, production value, just everything. I just felt like they could do more. The stories could be more engaging, more unpredictable. Like I just felt like there was something missing, and I thought you can afford to produce films. So instead of you sitting at the sidelines and criticizing, why don't you just join the industry
and
see
in the ring?
See what you can, how you can contribute to it, and So I don't know. I just started with, of course, Dark October. And when I decided I was going to do films, mostly because there was a platform that I could sell my movies.
Okay.
I thought that I was going to do like maybe something I was missing in the film industry already, which is like true life stories. So I said I was going to do true life stories, and I, because I've been blogging for so many years, and there were a lot of horrible, great stories that I've broken on my blog. And so I started thinking, which one of them can I do first? And Alu was the most outstanding one for me.
Wow.
The beaten deaths of those 4 boys from University of Port Harcourt.
Oh.
And I said, that's the first story I want to tell, because it's a story that needs to be heard, seen, heard. The boys need to be immortalized. They were beaten, killed for no reason, and that was the story that I wanted to do first. I just felt those kind of stories were missing in Hollywood, and so
real life stories.
That's fantastic.
That means you have a rich library of stories to
oh my
to
goodness!
come.
For 18 years, I have. If I could do movies every month, there's so much to pick from the stories that I've been part of, that I've broken, that I've written. Yeah.
All right, good to know. So from a controversial and very prominent blogger to a banging storyteller that you are right now. So how is this transition for you so far?
I mean, I mean, from blogging to producing films, there are two things that I love. So it's not like I'm doing something completely out of the blues, like maybe real estate or whatever. It's still in the media space.
Connects,
movies is in the media space, blogging is in the media space, and writing. I mean, like this film, for instance, I'm the writer, and blogging is writing.
You wrote the film.
I wrote the film, everything, 100%. I wrote the film, so it's very similar. There's very similar from the world I'm coming from, which is blogging, where I do a lot of writing. So you just transition into bringing all your ideas, into a different platform, which is not like like a blogging platform. Is now like in the movies. So it's very similar, and I'm still doing what I love, which is writing. When
Fantastic.
You think about it, yeah.
Fantastic, yeah. You are a writer.
Naturally, first and foremost, before anything else. Yes.
But writing for film is different. So
it is.
That experience for you, I mean, how was it like?
I've always known that I'm a good writer. Like I started writing, like you said, when I was 10 years old. Obviously, when I love writing. I used to even write for magazines and newspapers back in the day before I even started blogging. So my first love has always been writing. I've always loved writing. So it was easy for me to, and then I think I'm a creative writer and I have a lot of ideas in my head. So it was easy for me to just put all those ideas in paper, one after the other. So right now I have like 3 films that I've written full, like script writing. It's just one of them is reversed that I was able to produce. The best part about it is some people are very creative. Some people can write scripts, but they can't get those scripts on the screen because it takes a lot for you to be able to sell your script.
Sell your script to people.
Yeah, to sell your script, know. But fortunately for me, not only can I write, I can produce my films. I can bring out the funds, and so I'm very grateful for that. Nice. There are a lot of people with ideas, a lot of people with great scripts that are just lying in their cupboards and
not enough funds to put it out there.
Nobody wants to even buy. Like the producers want to do their own films.
Ooh, that's true. Put their own thing out there.
Exactly. So.
You know, of course, because I'm not going to say that you're new in the business, but
I am.
But you will be criticized. You will be people will say things about you while you're doing that and all that.
I'm used to that.
So, but what has been the reception since you stepped into this new territory? What has been
my first film? Obviously, was a bit controversial because it was based on a true life story, and I don't know if you saw what happened online. It was just like, you didn't get a permission for the parents,
right?
Parents' family or the boy's family, blah blah blah. But I tried for 2 years to try to get permission, and I did from some people. I didn't from some people. So it was dragging, and I had my lawyers talk to me about how I can proceed without all these things.
After investing so much money,
troubles,
so I had to go. Yeah, you see what?
After investing so much money in it.
Yeah, but this, So this one in particular, the reception, the reviews have been really, really heartwarming. I've read people who have gone to the film, and the list I've seen is like a 7/10. I've seen a lot of 10, 10, 9, 10. I wish you guys had seen the film so we can really talk about it.
Yeah.
But one of the things someone said, one of the critics wrote about review that he gave was that you must watch Reverse with a friend or friends and be prepared to argue after, because there will always be an argument. There's no way for or against or what, because what you see in the trailer is not really what the film is about.
True.
So when you watch it, you feel like, and one of the things somebody said was, it's just a lot of emotions. You get angry, you get frustrated, you get sad, and like it's just different emotions when you watch it. And there's something to take home for everyone.
That's very important, because leaving the cinema, you should be able to talk about a film, have a conversation about it.
That's the way I want to feel after watching a film. So that's what I did.
Yes, sure.
You're an honest blogger. All right. Honest. Okay. Let me use that word as because you're daring.
What does that mean?
I mean, you're daring. I don't know how many law cases you've had. I don't know how much wahala you've had. But there are some stories that people would love to see come to life, like you mentioned. There may be some stories that have to do with maybe some, I hate to use the word, entities or forces that they in this country. Are you bold enough to tell those types of stories too?
In the listen, the second movie that I did, Reverse, is actually my third. The second one, which has been ready for like almost a year now, is exactly what you're saying. Extremely bold and courageous for me to tell it, because it involves high-ranking police officers.
Okay. Wow. All right.
I'm bold enough to tell it because it really happened. I followed the story for 12 years in the courts. When it happened, and until the case ended, maybe like 8 years ago, I carried the story. I followed it. So everything that you see in the film is on Google and the newspapers.
All right.
Alrighty, good to know.
Wow.
So I have a lot more questions to go. So I remember I attended your Girl Child program. It was so empowering. That was in 2017. So what advice would you give the young Nigerian child right now who wants to do more than the regular thing? Because obviously you're not doing anything regular, you're doing extraordinary things. So what advice would you give?
My advice has always been believe in yourself and be very consistent. It's not about how hardworking you are. It's not about how lucky you are. It's not about how educated you are. The most important thing to achieve success in life is to stay consistent. Persistence.
Yeah.
You must persist. No matter how difficult it gets, no matter how much you're discouraged, no matter how people say you can't do it, you cannot, you're dreaming too high or you're dreaming too big. Don't worry about it. Stay persistent. Stay consistent. And eventually
it'll come through.
Yeah, no matter how it gets very difficult.
Yeah.
When you're pursuing that career, when you're trying to be somebody, when you're trying to achieve a goal, it gets very, very difficult. There are a lot of obstacles on your way, a lot of obstacles, and that's how it's supposed to be. So the people who get to the finish line are the people who are very, very persistent.
Yeah.
People who say, no matter how difficult it gets,
get there.
no matter how many times I stumble, no matter how much people say I can do this, I will prove everyone wrong. I must get to the finish line. And so
thank you for this.
Persistence.
Yeah. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing, because persistence is so important. Only the best get to the top, to the finish line.
Yes.
Like you said. So thank you for that.
You know, I'm just hearing her talk now. I'm just saying she can do radio.
Oh, yeah.
Low-key. The voice is there.
Oh my
anyway,
goodness.
Linda, you know, it's easy to just look at you and just say, oh, she's successful. She's making movies now, you know. She has never made a mistake in her life. She's perfect. You understand? I don't know.
Is.
You know, I want you to just look back and help us share something. I mean, like, what do you think was the most difficult time in your life? In all that you've been through right now.
The most difficult time in my life was when I was very broke and doing so much and nothing seemed to be working. You know, for probably 13 years, just struggling and hustling. And that's
You were broke for 13 years.
I mean, not that
I'm just messing with you.
Not that I was broke for 13 years. I started very, very early in life to start hustling. I started hustling immediately I left secondary school, which is one of the things that I tell young girls, and that's why I like to catch them young. That is why I invite secondary school students to my events, my women events. I believe that it's important to start very young when you're pursuing an ambition. So when you're pursuing a career. I started very early. I left secondary school. Before I got into university, I was pursuing a modeling career. I was trying to make money for myself, and I did that from 17 to 30. Struggling, doing all kinds of things, including, like you said, not waitressing. I was serving beer at a hotel.
Whoa.
I was at the University of Lagos at the time. I did billboard.
This is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did that.
Oh yeah, I did. It was very important for me to earn money. I could not live the life that a lot of girls were living, like waiting on men to take care of them. I needed to make my own money.
So while you were doing the modeling thing, another thing, you were serving beer in a hotel.
Yeah, I did. I did. I served beer for a month.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I
It is
did.
incredible.
It was not just that. I did festivals as an usher. I did a lot of ushering jobs, you know. And whatever you make is enough to keep you for a week or two, and then you know, I was doing a lot of things. So I truly believe in catching them young. And when I got to like 29, 30, I was like, God, I've been doing this for 12, 13 years. When is my breakthrough going to come? Like, I'm suffering, you know, like nothing seemed to be making me rich or very successful. And I'd tried so many things. I'd worked so hard for 13 years. But then I was even blogging, you know, when I was even this frustrated, I was blogging, but I didn't really think that blogging was going to be the pathway for me.
Yeah.
I was doing something that I was passionate about. I wasn't making money, and I had blogged for 4 years before someone paid me, and I was like, really? You can make money? And that's really changed my life. But before then, I had done all kinds of things. All kinds. I even had a magazine that wasn't successful.
It's so crazy. I remember you saying this at the training.
Yes.
And it was so empowering to everyone. I can just remember everyone was so excited hearing you say all this.
I did a magazine. It was called FMB. I published like 4 or 5 editions.
Yeah.
And I was going from one vendor to the other trying to sell it. Oh my goodness. Then I had a modeling agency.
You had a modeling agency?
Oh, that was my first business, Black Babe Models. That was my first business. After I stopped modeling, I did Miss Unilag when I was like I coordinated Miss Unilag when I was like 19, 20. I've been around for a while. I did Miss Unilag in 2000. I was 19, and I did Miss Unilag in 2002. I coordinated the whole thing. And then immediately I left Unilag. I started my modeling agency. From modeling agency, I had a marketing company. I was going from one company to the other, trying to show them, get them to, invest in me, use my company to do billboards and da. And then after that, I did FM&B, the magazine, and then I wrote a book.
Wow.
It takes you.
Oh my goodness.
I did a book launch. I invited a lot of people, tried to raise money. My goodness, Mannie, I got to a point I was like, God, please help me. You said if people put in the effort, you come through for them. At what point will you come through for me? And then in 2010, somebody called me and said,
clicked.
Can I pay for your advert on your blog? And I'm like, really? You want to?
So this can actually happen. Wow.
By 2011, everything changed because then I started making a lot of money from it.
You put up, you valued yourself.
I did.
Even when you had nothing. Mm-hmm. And you decided not to allow anybody to take responsibility for your life.
No, yes, exactly. That was
You did that by yourself.
And I was 17 when I decided that. So I wasn't even like a
17.
grown. Yeah, when I decided that I was going to be out of my life.
When they say the pace setters, don't get all the accolades. Sometimes you open the doorway for blogging in this country, right? Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden it's exploded into something else, right? How does that make you feel? Like when you turn around, you see all these other blogs, trying to do all kinds of things, and some of them are making.
It's not easy to be a pioneer,
I know,
right?
They lead
not.
and
we
we
feels
lead and
really
they
good.
follow.
That is something that a lot of people love now, and a lot of people consume now. When I started this. That was with like going on 19 years ago. The kind of blogging that we had then. There were blogs then, but it wasn't like gossip blogs.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
You're like everybody had a blog, which doesn't really happen now anymore. Where they just share their own personal experience,
like a lifestyle kind of blog.
Like family, husband, children, and all of that. But when I came, I was bored with it. I was like, please, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
with other
fun
people.
fact. You inspired me to open a blog. I had this little.
You did?
I did, and I posted all the pictures of the conference that you did that time. So, but I mean, I don't know where that blog is. But either way, it made me start to do something, start to pursue my career early enough, just because of that conference. I'm
happy to hear that.
Yeah,
that was the point of it. Like, when I was doing the conference, it was a self-made woman conference.
Yeah.
It was important for me to bring secondary school students because I had done I did a school tour. I went to several schools.
Yeah, you came to our school.
I came to your school. Mm-hmm. I went to 15 schools in the period of, I don't know, maybe like a month or two.
Whoa.
And it was important for me to speak to young girls and tell them that. And I hope that, I went to 15 schools, probably spoke to, I don't know if maybe 1,000 girls. I'm hoping that at least 5 or 10 of those girls took what I, told them then and manifested it in their lives. Like, I hope that there are some girls who heard what I said and like you said, and went out and started, fighting for their dreams very early. It was important for me to catch them young. Don't wait till you're 25 before you start a career. Immediately after secondary school, what are you doing with your time? Between secondary school and getting into the university, you can be going to school and still be pursuing a career.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we're asking you all these questions.
No, it's
because,
fine.
There are a lot of people who are, coming up in your, just like you, branching out, doing many things. Ladies in particularly are doing a lot of great things right now, and there's a strange misconception about women who are making money, that they're getting money from somewhere else. It's not
there
their
are
money.
People who are, of course, getting money from somewhere else.
Yes, I hate to say to you, at some point, a lot of people thought that maybe you too, that you were getting money from somewhere else, but because you were buying houses, doing things, but people couldn't quantify and say, is it the same Linda Ikeji that we're seeing blogging?
Yeah,
I
bought a house. I know. It was very confusing the first time.
It's confusing, but how do you deal with that? How do you go about that now? How do you?
I guess I understand it. I understand it because obviously the first house I bought was in a place, that people were, a place that was like exclusively for billionaires. And then, and so when I bought a house, people couldn't understand it. Like, is it from blogging? It's not possible. It must be from politicians and all of that. But because they didn't understand how much money was in blogging. Let me explain. You're in radio, and I don't know how much you guys make on radio, but at the time, not anymore, but at the time, 80% of advertising budgets for online was coming to me.
Whoa.
Okay,
Me and
let me
maybe
try.
like
80%.
No, let me say me and maybe 3 or 4 other blogs. There weren't many.
Please, sorry, Linda. Can
So I
you
was making so
quantify?
much-
Can you just quantify some? Even if you just want to be vague, just quantify a little bit. When you say 80%, are you saying like in the political space, the business space, the
No,
franchise
like
space?
advertisers, like people who wanted to advertise online. So every single person. So let's say if there are 10 advertisers that want to put money online in a blog, Linda Ikeji blog was in 8 of those,
Wow.
invoices. Like, so Linda Ikeji is in maybe 2, maybe not 2 others. So I got everybody's money
And this was daily, weekly, or I don't
daily.
know.
It was-
Daily.
Sometimes I had like 30 adverts to post in a day. Like it was too
30
much.
ads.
Yes,
Wow.
it was too many people. I was like, those days, this would be like 10 years ago. You would have 2 stories, regular stories, and an advert after. 2 stories, and it's not like that anymore. But 2 stories advert. It was everybody wanted to be on my blog, and so I was making so much money that people didn't understand it. So when I bought a house, and they were like, "How can you? It's not possible. It's a joke. How if you believe Linda can buy a house so and so place, you must not have gone to school." And I was smiling. I was like, I can actually buy a second one.
And this is because of your hard work. I mean,
Yes.
this
Yeah,
is
and
be-
consistency as well.
really, because
Consistency.
yeah.
You have to understand that I blogged for 4 years without making a dime, and I continued doing it because I loved it and I was consistent about it. And then, like I said, one day God will be like, "Okay, my daughter, take my son,
You've
take
been
it.
knocking
You
on
have
this
tried.
door. I'm
You have
going to
tried."
open it. And
But you
yeah,
have
that's
to,
what he
you have-
did.
Yeah, you have to.
You
get
know
to
what?
that level.
This is a great story. Such a great story. Thank you
Yep.
for sharing that.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of questions. Then, please, guys, if you haven't seen the movie, you need to go and see it out
Yes,
there.
reverse.
Yeah.
What inspires you?
I mean, growing up, I just wanted my dreams to come true. I was inspired by, seeing my mom being incredibly hardworking and still struggling, and I just wanted to, just have a better life, have a great life, and I just knew that I could not live the way I saw a lot of girls living. I knew I had to, live it on my own terms, make money on my own terms, and I knew the only way I could do that was to work hard, and so when I was inspired by just, it was for me growing up, it was like get rich or die trying. That was my mentality, yeah. And so I put my hands in so many things until one, worked out, and
Yeah, it worked out really well.
yeah,
Really, really good. Really good.
Really well.
Yeah. Now you know you're making films. This is not your first. This is your second big film.
my
And-
second, yeah.
And rumor has it there are more coming
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey.
this year.
One more coming this year, yes, hopefully.
All right. So now, before we look at Reverse, I want you to tell Nigerians why they should go and see it. In summary, across the whole world, there are this talk about how some industries can be bad, some can be this and that, wicked industry, dark industry, whatever. You've been in the industry, in how would you summarize our growing entertainment industry? Would you say it's getting there? Would you say there's so much darkness? Would you say
I mean, I don't know about darkness because I don't put myself in any situation where I can say anything
Spaces
dark.
like that,
I don't know
yeah.
about darkness, but I can say that the music industry has grown incredibly, and I'm very proud of what our Afrobeat has done for Nigeria.
Right.
It's not on the international platform. I'm so proud of our new talents and how beautiful their music is. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So Afrobeat has done a lot. The music industry has done a lot. Nollywood needs to, they just need to bring. I don't know. I'm trying to use
like
the right
what's
words.
missing? Yeah, they need to do
There's
what.
so much missing. That was why we had people like Netflix and Prime leaving, because they invested so much and was getting little, allegedly.
Yeah.
But they need to do more. They need to do better. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Just be.
But what do you think we can do better? What do you think can be done better in Nollywood?
I think the biggest problem we have in Nollywood, I think the biggest problem we have in Nollywood is storytelling. I mean, the
Okay.
production is sometimes great, but the story has disenfranchised Nigerians. Like people are like, what's the point? The same thing, it's predictable. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The same faces, doing the same
Okay.
storyline. Sometimes I watch a film and I'll be like, there couldn't have been a script. I think they're just freestyling.
Oh my goodness.
And I think they're freestyling.
Wow.
This person will just say whatever he likes, that one say whatever they
Yeah.
like, and they just hope that it
It
works.
comes out right.
But because there can't be thoughts
No
put into
planning,
this.
yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Random.
So I think we need to start telling great stories. I think producers to also start buying. Don't do what Tyler Perry does and just only his own right, his only his own ideas.
Yeah.
Buy from people. Go through scripts. Buy scripts and see which one
Do you think we
hits
need
hard.
Do you think we need a prop village, like where you can go and see props, like real prop settings, and as again just
Like a
renting
space for
houses and
Hollywood.
renting?
Yeah.
You think we need a space?
Like the way they have Hollywood.
But when
Yeah.
you do that, it then becomes using the same space for how many films? Like I don't know. Like that's why Tyler Perry films. I that's my biggest inspiration. Tyler Perry.
Ooh.
My number one.
But I think he has a set though. I
It's
think
a-
he has
yeah,
a-
it's a
He
pretty
has
big
a
one.
set, so that's why when you see
Yeah.
his films, you just feel like
has-
you're going from one place to
exactly.
the other. And all, you
Yeah.
know. I don't know about Prop Village, but I think personally the biggest problem we have is storytelling.
Storytelling.
We
Okay.
do, and then we need to also expand our horizon, not just restrict ourselves to offices and homes
Yeah.
for our stories.
Truth be told, that's when you think of a Nigerian film, you think of an office.
They go
That
for
is
the office,
true.
they go to the house.
The house,
I've
office.
not seen people running through malls, through the train
Oh.
station.
That
Like
is true.
there's
Ooh,
so many things that we
man.
that we have in Nigeria that we haven't seen in film.
You
Yeah.
need to read
You
the
understand?
scripts. Don't worry.
Like,
Let me not say too much about
The
that.
ocean, they like just
Yeah,
so
there's
much.
Oh
so
man,
much.
get on
I
a
mean,
boat, do something on a yacht.
Yeah, like even
Do
the
something,
helicopters, so something that
Yeah.
is so different. But me, what I say is, you go from the hospital, from the
Office to the hospital,
Office.
to the
Hospital,
to
think
the
of it-
parlor,
There's
to
a
the
hospital,
bedroom,
The bedroom.
There's
to
always
the kitchen,
to the
and
car
like,
park, and that's it.
location. What's
Yeah.
going on?
True. So yeah, better storytelling. Very true.
Oh my god. Okay, Linda, why
Yeah.
should Nigerians go and see Reverse? We've seen part of it. The trailer is amazing.
Yep.
We can spill some tea about it.
Yeah, it looks really fantastic.
Looks nice.
Yeah, but like she
Yeah.
said, you can't really know the story.
It's very
by-
unpredictable.
It's very unpredictable.
People should say
so
it
you have
because
to
you
see it.
learn it in a thing or two. You relate with a lot of things in it,
Yeah.
and you learn it in a thing or two. Everybody out there who has seen the film that I sat with, they will be like, from now on I'm minding my business. There's something that will affect you positively,
Yeah.
or I won't say negatively, but you go through a lot of emotions when you watch it.
It'll get you
Reverse.
thinking.
Yes,
Yeah. All right.
and very unpredictable.
Very predictable.
I
You know,
promise you.
you know what? When you browse the internet and you search for a blockbuster movie, if you scroll down, you will see how much they invested in the movie. Like if it's Titanic or it's
Oh
whatever.
yeah, but
you-
Nigerians, we don't know.
we don't put the amount of money we used to invest in films. Like I'm so taken to when I love to go there to see how much the movie cost and how much it made. Just for my for my sake.
Yeah.
I will see
We
a
don't,
movie.
we don't have that data in Nigeria, do we?
No,
We don't. Okay, Linda, how much did you use to make this film? Okay, I spent 100 million. And I made 250 million. Just something like that.
you can see how much you made, but not what was put in the film.
Yeah.
though. You can see
But
how much you
but
made.
Hollywood films, you can tell.
can see
And
that,
because
yeah.
the Hollywood films are put out by studios. Nigeria is put out by mostly individuals.
Yeah, but could you
they
give us
have the
give us a hint how much you spent on this movie? Can you tell us?
Yeah, like 100 million.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. And then how much have I made? Time will tell. It's just in the cinema.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'll be big.
No, guys, you heard it. So that is a blockbuster production, 100 million. Therefore, you should go and see why it cost that
Period.
much. You should go and see why it cost that much. Go to the cinemas and see Reverse. When was the last time you heard of a production that cost that much?
Really?
Go. Maybe I'm just
There are
saying.
some that cost 400 million.
Yeah.
You kidding?
Hey boy, it doesn't look 400 million, I'm not saying. If you mention the movie now, it doesn't look 400 million. This is why Netflix and run away. Because it doesn't look.
Oh my god.
So it's nice to hear that you're honest about that. That's how much you put into it, and we should go see it.
For sure, we will go see it. Definitely. And she was talking about storytelling. So, the storytelling will be top notch.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, yeah, we're excited about it.
How do you
Reverse.
how do you stay this young? What do you do? What do you eat? I mean, are you a
What do you
vegetarian?
mean I'm staying this young? Am I not young?
No, you're looking great, but
Yeah, she
it's
does.
amazing.
Looks stunning.
I'm not playing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you. Really?
Yeah.
And I didn't get enough time to do my makeup properly. But so thank you. I
You
appreciate
look
that.
amazing, actually.
Thank
Same
you.
look from 2017 when I saw you.
so are you
Crazy.
one of those that I say that I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I don't eat
I
this.
eat everything and anything. I'm not picky at all.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I cut down on my sugar. Like as you're getting
Yeah.
older, people won't tell you again. Nobody will
Exactly.
say to stop taking sugar. But you're getting older, nobody will tell you again.
Your
You use your own
body.
sense. Use your own sense and realize that you need to stop.
Yeah.
So I've cut down on sugar, definitely.
I saw how you reacted to a song we played. You like music a lot, there's no doubt about it.
I love music, yeah.
What do you listen to now? I mean, who are you listening to now?
A lot of Afrobeats. A lot of
Like, if you have to pick,
the peak. My favorite right now is Kiss Daniel. I think I would go to a Kiss Daniel
gang,
That's Manny's favorite. So
I'll go to a Kiss
What
Daniel
is happening here?
Yeah,
Real recognize real. No, I mean it's no.
And I like Ruga as well. I love Ruga. Yeah.
All right, cool. Good to know.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, guys, that's it for now. We're so happy to have the famous Linda Ikeji in the
That's
studios
right.
with us this morning on a Monday morning. A brand new movie sounds called Reverse, her second blockbuster production. If I were you, go and see it and tell us how
Yeah,
how
what
it
you
was.
think about it.
Yeah.
Because it definitely gets you thinking. Then Ikeji, was so great having you
Thank
this
you so much for
morning. You look
having me.
amazing. We're so excited
Thank
for the
you.
movie that's out right now and what's to come as well.
Thank
We're not
you.
going to get any teas, any info we can get for the one that's
It's called The Night of June 7th.
the 9th of June.
The
7th.
9th of June
Okay.
7th.
The Night of June 7th. It's a
All
true
right.
life story.
You wrote
A
that one
must
too?
watch. It's based on a true life story, but I wrote it.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
And you're done with that production?
Like over 6 months ago.
Ooh.
But
Wow.
I don't want to take it to cinema.
Did I
No.
t- did I tell
It's a
you?
horror film, so.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
horror
A
film?
Well, not
film.
horror. It's a thriller, but it's too tragic.
Yeah, it's tragic.
So
Okay.
I don't think it will do well in cinema, so I'm not going to cinema.
Okay.
Okay.
Did I tell you that I act too?
Oh,
No,
You shouldn't be casting without me. Oh, don't try it.
oh my
I'll put
goodness.
that in mind.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, Linda, great to have you. Great
Thank
one.
you so much for having me this
Same
morning.
here. Alrighty, let's get back to the music. This is Lizzo with Love in Real Life. Check it out.
Wipe my